Hello. I don't know. I've started stream probably like 300 times already, and I still don't know how to say hi to you guys. Hi, welcome in. Hello, Action. Hello, Plasmir. Hello, John. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Cause Tuesday was yesterday, and then comes Wednesday, and after that is Thursday, and then comes Friday. I'm really excited. There's a lot of things going on. I just seem to have more and more projects, and things are I can just say things are coming. And oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys, like, ever since I've been a part of VTSO, like, I know I keep saying it, but it's like true, you know, like everyone there is so inspiring to me, and it motivates me to do more, to, you know, try my best and to try new things, because as you can see, the super duper secret project, perhaps? Oh, the super duper secret project was the Wasureiji cover that came out. I posted it in the creative channel because I did the art for that, as well as I did some of like the higher backing vocals. That's already come out. But no, yeah, the super duper secret project already came out. But there are more, even more, can you believe it? Even more super secret, super duper secret projects coming in the next couple of weeks, I would say. But yeah, I've been practicing violin a lot, really been motivated to practice, and also been practicing more super duper secret project. Yes, more super duper secret project. All of them, you know, involving VTSO, obviously. You'll see. It's coming. Sorry, I have a friend who's messaging me about some issues going on, so just wanted to make sure that they were okay before I like completely stepped away. But yes, so funny enough, maybe you heard the little clink, but I've been practicing my ukulele. So as a surprise for those here early, you know, like perhaps we can play a little bit of ukulele before we start the game. You know what? I didn't even start the game, but yeah, it'll be fine. Let me turn off the background music. All right, I don't know. Early bird gets the worm, as they say. I don't know how this is gonna sound. I'm gonna try like the reverb microphone. Let me know if it doesn't sound okay, you know? So this is the reverb. You can hear it in my voice, right? There's reverb. I don't know if this is gonna be on, like, I don't know if it's gonna filter out, but let's see. Can you hear the ukulele? Okay. If you can hear it, then that's fine. I will play the two things that I've been practicing. So, of course, you guys know I already know how to play the one song, Oh Fiona, from Adventure Time. And then I do have a second song that I started learning, and I got really motivated because one of the VTSO members, Evo, he's like always streaming music, and like he plays guitar on his streams and he takes song requests, and like it makes me so angry like not at him, right? But like at the fact that like how talented he is and like how easily music comes to him. And I'm like, girl, you just have to practice. You just have to study and practice more and you'll get there. So I keep telling myself, if you don't practice, you're never gonna get there. So just start. So this is me, you know, this is me starting, this is me trying. But I'll play you the 2 songs that I know. And hopefully it'll be. I talked in reverb the entire time. That's okay. All right, ready? I feel like nothing was real until I met you. Feel like we connect and I really get you. If I said you're a beautiful girl, would it upset you? Because the way you look tonight, silhouetted, I'll never forget it. Oh, oh, Fiona, your fist has touched my heart. Oh, Fiona, I won't let anything in this world keep us apart. I won't let anything in this world keep us apart. All right, so that was the first song that, of course, I already knew how to like play, right? Because like that was like the one song that I knew how to play. Oh, 1 second, hold on. I have a thing that I need to listen to before. So, sorry. Hi, Chrono, welcome in. Sorry, I'm just listening to a message right now. So, and it's a really funny message. Okay. This is a very funny message. Okay, that was a hilarious message. Anyways, okay, the last hello, welcome in, Chrono. We have no electricity, so I had to take a freezing cold shower. That is so sad. I am so sorry for you. That sucks. Okay, we're gonna do one more song. This is a song that I have been recently. I literally picked up the music yesterday and I've been practicing the chords. So I don't really know how to strum with it yet, but I can do the chords. So we're gonna do that. I am doing good. How are you doing? How's your Wednesday aside from the no electricity? Were you working from home today? Did you have to go into the office? All right. Isn't this such a beautiful night? Whoa, we're underneath 1,000 shining stars. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you just let yourself just be wherever you are? Look at this place. Look at your faces. I've never seen you look like this before. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you just let yourself just be wherever you are? Look at this place. Look at your faces. They're shining like 1,000 shining stars. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you just let yourself just be wherever you are? Why don't you just let yourself just be somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you just let yourself just be whoever you are? Alright, so that was the 2 songs. So I need to learn how to strum, because the strum pattern is really hard. It's like and I can't do that quickly, that rhythm like of the down, like muted, up, down, wait, hold on, down, mute, up. Okay, so it's down, mute, up, mute, down, mute, up, mute. And I can't get that like strumming pattern. So have you driven your neighbors crazy yet? My neighbors haven't said anything. I play violin, I play ukulele. Nice ukulele playing. Hello, Duo, welcome in. Thank you, thank you. I play violin, I play ukulele. I haven't had my neighbors come in and complain yet. They haven't knocked on my door, but that's probably also because like no one comes by. So, you know, maybe it's okay. I just realized, by the way, that I picked a picture of my exact ukulele. That's the brand that I have. Makala is the brand of ukulele I have. That's actually hilarious. But yeah, so those are the 2 songs. I will learn the strum pattern for this song eventually, but like I'm still trying to get like the chord transitions, because it's not super easy. There's like a lot of weird like finger positions for it, so I'm trying to like move my fingers to be able to do it that quick, you know, like where I'm supposed to hit it and like change. I can't memorize. It's really hard for me to memorize the song, so I'm just trying to memorize what the chords are supposed to look like, and then when I see like, oh, a C, this is a C, and then when it says B7, I'm like, okay, this is a B7, you know, and then this is a C major 7, and this is a C7, you know, like, so I've been trying to like memorize what the shape of the chords look like. Thank you for the pie, Chrono. I appreciate you. Anyways, okay, we're gonna get into the game now. It will be quite fun, I'm sure. Okay, let's take off this ukulele. I'm gonna boot up the game. And I'm gonna mute this because I'm sure the game is gonna come in at like some kind of volume. Yep. Was I on the right side for this game? No, I think I was on the right side, not left side. Okay, hold on. I also kind of want like a cookie snack, so give me a second. Duo, I have all your cookies here. From your Shizuoka matcha. I have all your cookies. Because Ever didn't want any. She's not a huge fan of matcha, so I took all of them home. So, sorry if you hear Monchin, because I want to eat a cookie. They're delicious. I love them. My favorite is the crepe roll, like the cigar one. And then I like the cookies, and then the sand pie. But like, the sand pie is still good. Uh-oh.
One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road.
Why is Briar Road such a popular place for crimes?
The mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved.
Oh. Was this the couple that fought?
No sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight, than in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness
a second
of that
crime.
very night.
Is it loud?
I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas.
There was another crime?
Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene.
No, I changed my mind. The cookie is better than the crepe.
It's
really tasty.
The curtain on a most tragic play.
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer, just starting out on my journey. Princess, I started Back to the Babe. Beetle Ian! Oh my gosh, incredible. How is it so far for you? Are you having a hard time? Is it a strong matcha taste? The cookie? No, it's very light. This one is the Lang de Chat. Lang de Chat. Is the name of the cookie. It's not super strong. It's just a light matcha flavor. I quite like it. We're back with Ryunosuke, exactly. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law, having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. Very nice in some ways, and is teaching me a lot about foot positioning, but I get stuck a lot. What do you mean stuck? Like, you get stuck on a particularly hard jump that you don't know how to do, or you keep missing like easy jumps and then you're in like an endless loop that you can't get out of. But I'm so proud of— oh shit. Sorry, crumbs everywhere. But I'm so proud of you, Beetle Ian. You should let us know when you beat it. I would love to hear your journey. More of the endless loop. Missing the harder jumps on my way back up. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. You just really have to like really hone in your jumping. I promise you, going from Ghost of the Babe to Back to the Babe is a lot easier than what I did, which was Ghost of the Babe right into Babe of Ascension. So Back to the Babe is going to teach you a lot of those like more difficult jumps. It's just scaffolding, right? Like, you'll get there, I promise. It may seem hard now, but if you have perseverance, you will get through it. Because every jump is possible. Every jump is doable. I believe in you. You should believe in yourself too. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy of sorts. I have successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. But since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return, but that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to awaken from slumber. Thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. It's certainly less frustrating than Ghost. Oh, that's good. I mean, Ghost was like really hard because it kept like it kept you know, sending you back all the way down. What's happening? What is this? Okay, I'm sorry. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. It must be nearly time for breakfast. I'd better go down to Mr. Sholm's suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. Question out of Stream Elements is, or out of curiosity, is Stream Elements down? I'm trying to work things out on it, but testing doesn't work. Let's try. Hold on.
Runo, good, good.
Hopefully... No, it looks like it's working. How do you? Hey, what's up, LJ? Welcome in. Hello, hello. How are you doing, LJ? Sorry, I needed a cough, so I had to mute myself for a second. Feel like the recovery jumps so far have been much more fair. Oh, that's good. Yeah, Ghost of the Bay was really, really hard, especially near the end where like literally one jump in the tower would send you like all the way down. Very, very frustrating. I'm dazed and confused, just woke up. Oh. How long were you sleeping for?
I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready.
Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news. I had a surprise this morning. Shh! Not another word, Mr. Naruhodo. This could be just the abstruse thing from my pre-breakfast stagnation repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes. I see. So that's it. The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo, you have this very morning met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? 5 hours maybe? That's not so bad. Herlock, my beloved, lurking for now. We'll be back. No worries, show. Have a good lurk. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Have a good one. But of course. Though I don't look for admiration, you understand. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has? And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you.
Harley pulled your button off?
... Ah, yes. I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped! Why did it have to happen? Why? Little wonder then that in my vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. Helpful. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
But Harley, Runo said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning.
Well, that really is a surprise. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire, the famous consulting detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name.
Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it goes cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too, my latest special blend.
And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. A truly exceptional young girl who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes as published in Ranced magazine. So, Mr. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Well, I received a letter from Japan.
Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it? Really?
That's right, and she had some rather startling news. Startling news, in fact. Intriguing indeed. You must tell us all about it over breakfast.
Oh yes, what fun! It is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh, dashing through the snow. In a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha! Bells on bobsled.
Sorry. Miss Susato's letter. This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning by International Post.
Oh, how lovely! Look at Susie's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it.
And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case.
Really? Oh, isn't she wonderful?
A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. Wow, that was like the rudest thing that this man could have said to me to my face. Hello? Excuse me? I've won cases too, you know? Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness. Natsume. No, I don't recall that name. Of course you do! We helped that man! Twice! You know, in those 2 places that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago. The mustache twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache.
He didn't have 2 mustaches, Hurley.
Yes, who could forget those 2 cases? They made a very deep impression on me. Although, I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. Startling news! Sorry, I went to go reach in to get another cracker. So, what was this startling news penned by Miss Susato? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, yes. It's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. He's totally forgotten then. Anyway, in her letter, Miss Susato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. Though it took place half a year ago? For what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Susato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram.
Oh, that case, yes! It was very strange, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I had compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication, too. But then Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, you said. Very mysteriously as well.
Really? I said that? Are you sure? Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Miss Susato was suddenly told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan? What is the point of having dialogue choices if we have to pick all of them? Well, it is the illusion of choice.
It's been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan.
Indeed, it was. Due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. No. It just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse.
A ruse? So Susie's daddy lied to her so that she'd make the voyage back home? Why would he do that?
I have to admit, I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Very strange. I mean, most visual novel games are like that. You just have to go through the dialogue options. It's just the style of game, I think. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that, I wonder what Miss Susato's father is hiding.
Harley, do you know what it's all about?
Huh? Well, who can say? What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. And a stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man the fort in my absence, won't you, Iris?
I will, Harley. Don't worry. See you later.
He scuttled off rather quickly there. I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Soseki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Mr. Sholmes.
I found them at last.
Iris, are they?
The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Runo?
Absolutely, thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case. But perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light.
That's the spirit.
And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again, together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. I just need to find a clue, and I have all the time in the world because, of course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. Wait, why not? What happened? Why isn't he allowed? It was 6 months ago, a mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in her back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick, and nobody saw her attacker, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation! was the man's reaction after the trial, but his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart's at once. Several days? That's a coma. Yeah, that kind of is a coma. So, Susato-san and I summoned a hansom and headed immediately to the hospital. Oh look, there's a rat in the corner. I too like to summon a handsome. I don't know, like, is that word from something? Like, is that what the word handsome came from? I don't actually know. Sorry, I have stuff into my nose. I kind of have like a stuffy nose right now, so apologies. There you are, at last. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not. Oh. You're late! What on earth took you so long? Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes. And it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital. That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. Huh? In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. Apple! Hello! Welcome in! How are you? Te quiero! Welcome, welcome! Good evening! Happy Wednesday! The night is going good. I played some ukulele for everyone, and then we, you know, got to, like, talk about how our day went. And that's about it. Have day. Handsome was just the name of the guy who invented the type of cab. Oh, interesting. Okay, I see. I did not know that. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with a knife in her back.
Her name is... Ah, yes, here we are. Miss Green.
Should we look at this mouse first? Clearly, there's a rat.
Eek! A mouse, Mr. Naruhodo! An enormous mouse!
Vermin in a hospital? That doesn't seem the best.
But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump.
I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you're thinking. What else is there? There is, like, this easel. There's a photograph? Look, there's a photograph in this frame here.
Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman.
He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think?
My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart.
Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. What is this statue? This round wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it?
Ah, I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist mannequin, I believe. I used when practicing sketching the human form for different poses.
Really? It's not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it?
No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before.
Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. Ah, this looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place, a zoo?
You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park.
For the pigeons, yes, this is a person. Poor woman, I hope she hasn't read this. There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that?
If you were a patient here, I feel sure you'd take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep.
That is a worry, but at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one.
Oh, I've no doubt you'd manage to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well.
There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Miss Susato.
That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings.
She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though.
I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her.
Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and...
No, Mr. Naruhodo, you must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings.
But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. Alright, time to talk to the young maiden. Here we go. Good morning. What kind of voice should I make her sound like? Hello, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Morning! It's morning inside the game. Yes, hello, welcome in. Okay, how do I do this?
Oh no! Was it your knife that... Are you the man who...
No, I'm a lawyer.
And I'm Susato Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you. Oh no! Was it your knife then? Are you the one? No, I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come give you our best wishes. Best wishes? For me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back.
I don't think that's related, actually.
Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down.
Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green.
It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Isn't that right?
Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time.
But the case has been solved, hasn't it? Well, I've been here in the hospital, I mean.
Indeed, it has. My dear Madame, spectacularly by none other than I, Herlock Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in the case that solved the case.
Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green?
Yes, I am afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to come to fill me in shortly.
Oh, I see.
Me coming round seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was selfish of me. Oh, no, we're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are. With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be blue, not green. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? I'm so sorry for all the yawning. I'm like, all of a sudden, it got to like 5 and like 5 or 5:30, and I was just like exhausted, and I was like, I'm just gonna push through. Cause I feel like I slept a lot, you know? And so like, I'm just gonna push through. But now I'm like, just really, really tired all of a sudden. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no, oh, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndyke Academy of Fine Arts. Oh my, are you an Academy of Fine Arts? Great Britain is such a wonderful country. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts? Oh, no, actually. I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road. I see. How very interesting. Oh my goodness. Hello, welcome in, Raiders. Welcome, welcome. My name is Princess. I'm a variety VTuber here on Twitch. Welcome, Egg. What were you guys up to? Sorry, let me just move over to here so that we can welcome you guys in, and I can give you some proper shout outs, because I don't know if my mods are in chat, so we'll just chill here for a bit. Egg, 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 egg. Hello, hello. What were you guys up to? Welcome in. Also, I think you know the drill, Egg. Usually when someone raids in, if I'm not with guests, you will get a chance for a feature. You can either choose your VOD from today. I will scrub through a few key places in your VOD. Or we can do 3 completely random clips. I'm so sorry, I don't choose which clip shows. Just a random one. And they will last about 15 seconds each. So you can take your pick, either VOD or the clips. It is completely up to you. But welcome in, Raiders. Hello. If you are, you know, I know you've probably been streaming for a while too, by the way, Egg. So feel free to just dip and dash after I give you this shout out. You know, make sure you're getting rested. Make sure you have snacks, because I know streaming is hard work, and you need that after stream self-care, or ass, as they say. For Raiders coming in with Egg, thank you so much for supporting, Egg. Thank you for coming in and hanging out here. I really appreciate you. If you decide to stay for the night, we will be here for a while. Thank you for coming in. If you're not going to be staying, that's okay. I'm glad you made it anyways. And, you know, if you're one of the people who left, that's okay too. I guess that's, I guess it's fine. But yeah, I think, you know, it's just fun. Roll a dice. Okay, I don't have a dice on me, so let me see here. Flip a coin. Heads is clips, tails is VODs. Heads. Okay, so heads is clips. All right, so let me do 3 clips. Here it is. Okay. I'm gonna pause that. Sorry in advance? Why? Do you have some crazy clips or something?
You didn't see that. Okay. Alright, ignore that. It was just, I'm trying to build a roof and double the layer, double the strength. Listen,
What happened there? What was that?
Similar show, yeah. I don't want to. I actually didn't see it.
Wrestling?
Get a woman instead of Yoda. Why would I get a woman? I'm good with men. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my
Okay.
god. I'm doing
Okay. It's just a weird looking home.
Activating combat mode.
You know what? I'll say it too. Welcome to the cum zone. Only come inside anime girls.
Okay. I see. Oh, okay. Well, welcome in, Raiders. My name is Princess. Again, I am a no worries at all. Guys, check out Gamer Egg. He is a community member here, supports the streams quite often, and is always lurking. So I really do appreciate the raid. Thank you for trusting me with your community. I hope you have a good rest. If you are taking a break, make sure you get something that's filling, get some snacks, and maybe a cup of water or several cups of liquids. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but you should probably stay hydrated. And yeah, tucker in because it's going to be another long night. We're just gonna go probably for another hour and a half or so, because I do have a raid that I have to get to in Final Fantasy XIV, but I'll try my best to get through as much as I can. And yeah, welcome. We are playing some Great Ace Attorney Resolve, and we're doing all the voice acting as we go, you know, so it is quite fun. It is quite fun. Okay. Make sure that I have this loaded in. We are good. Oh, hold on. I opened something accidentally. Okay, there we go. Oogie, I'm gonna go fill up some water and get some snacks. Oh my goodness. Hello, welcome in, Raiders. I am feeling the love tonight. Welcome. How are you, Raiders? Welcome in, Drythe. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Princess. I am a variety VTuber here on Twitch. Welcome, Drythe. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you for the head pad. Howdy, Drythe. What were you up to today? I think you were playing your cyber... Was it your cyber game? Or was it something else? Elder Scrolls. Okay, my bad. It was Elder Scrolls. But how was Elder Scrolls tonight? And Drythe, you know the drill. When you come in here, I would love to give you a feature as a way to thank you for bringing your community here. I would like to introduce you to my community. So please tell me, would you prefer me to scrub through your VOD from today, or would you prefer the clips? It was fun, mostly just hanging out. Have you played it before? Or I feel like at this point a lot of people have played Skyrim. I've never played it, so if I played it, it'd be for the first time. But welcome in, Rice Joe. Hello, Zamad. Hello, Doree. Welcome. Hello, beautiful. This is Chai Wife. Hello, Chai Wife. Welcome in. Chai Wife? You mean like Jihi or Jihi's wife? I didn't realize Jihi had a wife. Welcome in. It's the MMO. I've never played it before. Oh, okay. Fun. Yeah, how was that? Also, feel free after you tell me if you want VODs or clips to, you know, raid and dip if you are tired. I know streaming is really like busy and it's really crazy, so if you need to take a break, please do, you know, step away, get some water, get some food. I will be here, but if you don't come back, that's okay too. Raider, same to you. I know you've been with Drythe for a bit, so take some well-deserved rest. Thank you so much for supporting Drythe. Thanks for coming in with the raid. I would love if you could lurk, but if you have other things to do, that's fine too. I hope you're having a good day today. I am Doree. I learned a new song on the ukulele, and I think it's pretty... Hold on. I have friends coming, so I gotta show off, right? I gotta do my appeal, right? Oh, sorry. I hit the microphone. I learned a new song. Hold on. I will play for you. I don't actually know how the reverb sounds, so if it sounds weird, I'm so sorry. Clips. Okay, I'll do clips in just a second. Hold on. I gotta show you guys. Isn't this such a beautiful night? Whoa. We're underneath 1,000 shining stars. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa. Why don't you just let yourself just be wherever you are? Look at this place. Look at your faces. I've never seen you look like this before. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you just let yourself just be wherever you are? Look at this place. Look at your faces. Shining like 1,000 shining stars. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you just let yourself just be wherever you are? Why don't you just let yourself just be be somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you just let yourself just be whoever you are? Alright, that's the song I learned. I literally learned it yesterday and today. I still don't know how to strum it yet, so, you know, that's a thing. But yeah. It's because of VTSO that, like, I've been super motivated to, like, practice, even though I'm not a singer, I don't play ukulele that well, but I just, musically, I've just been trying to improve myself and trying to, like, catch up to, like, all of the crazy talented people. But Drythe said clips, so let's play a few of Drythe's clips. Thank you so much for the raid, by the way, Drythe. I really appreciate it, and I love knowing that you trust me enough to leave your community in my capable hands.
That Raven.
I'm not. Just
No. Oh my god.
good crow. Good crow.
Such an old clip. Drythe wasn't moving then. He was he was a PNG. It was very old. Why is it always this damn clip, Drythe? What the fuck? I swear to God, this is 3 for 3.
You
Jesus
say you lost
Christ.
him, but have you really lost him?
Nope.
Why?
Nope.
Why do I say anything?
Nope. Okay. Nope. Okay. Wonder what happens next. Why does the clip shout out love that one clip so much? Also playing Jump King, not like a certain princess. I know I'm banned from playing Jump King. I'm so upset. This is very upsetting. Oh god. Is this something scary?
Just explosive.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give you another one because I feel like we've seen that other one clip like so many times at this point. You need your, you know, you need your due share of the clips being shown to the audience. It's gonna be so funny if it happens to be that one clip again, you know? Don't jinx it, princess. Okay,
this
we're fine.
motherfucker just pulls bears out. I don't think you're an actual battle maid. I think you're a bear-mancer.
A bear maid. Under the skin, I am just a bear.
Oh my god, he's actually a furry.
Oh my god.
No, okay, never mind. I take it back. I don't want to be a bear.
You
no
heard it
more.
here first, folks.
No,
So
no.
I hope the same clip plays again. Well, okay, I have news for you. I will be playing some Jump King, okay? On the 27th, I have 3 days to train for this. On the 27th, a baby has challenged me to a Jump King race, okay? Do you guys know a VTuber named Mizumi Morgan. You should, because he's been around and we've raided into him. He just finished Main Babe, okay? A baby has been born. Yes. A baby Jump Kinger has been born. So he just finished Main Babe. Before he even finished, he was like, because I had raided in, right? And he was still progging through the first map. He was like, you know what would be funny? You know what would be funny? If me and Princess raced. And I was like, you know, it would be funny. It would be really funny if you and I raced. So I DM'd him later and I was like, you know, like, let's make this a thing. Like, because he beat Jump King, right? And I was like, you know, now that you beat it, this is a thing. Like, let's make this a thing. And so we had like agreed on a date. And so now he is his training montage. It's his, you know, like glow up arc. He is secretly practicing Jump King pretty much every day. I'm also secretly practicing Jump King pretty much every day. The only thing that I'm banned from doing is streaming Jump King, by the way, you guys. To be technical about it, I can still play Jump King off stream, okay? So I've been practicing, he's been practicing. We are going to race on the 27th. It's going to be really fun. We have a whole bunch of like punishment wheels that we can spin to challenge ourselves. And I'm very, very so excited. So here's the wager. If I win, I want Mizu to finish, okay, not just play, right? But I want him to finish both the second and the third map of Jump King. I don't know, like, second for sure. I don't know if he's gonna like play the third one. Maybe we can race so that, you know, if we can do another wager. But, you know, the second and the third map of Jump King. If he wins, then, sad to say, but he will be forcing me to play Lethal Company. And as anyone who has come to this channel knows, I am not a good person to play with when it comes to horror. I will be taking applications for anyone who would like to play Lethal Company with me. Please and thank you. Miso, you are never late, just on time. You are fantastically on time. Elsie is great. No, it's not. I just know I'm going to be so scared. So I guess we'll see when time comes. But yes, so we're gonna race Mizu on January 27th. It's gonna be approximately 8 p.m. Pacific time. If you guys want to, you know, tune in for that. It is a Saturday evening. It's not even scary. You are such a liar, Drythe. I am, to your face, I am calling you a big fat liar. Liar boy, you sit on your throne of lies. You can't do anything because you're not streaming and you can't rebuttal me right now. Lethal Company is very funny. I am laughing my ass off. That's not required for Princess to be scared. Scared and sick. Anyways, you guys, I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys are too. Mainly because I get to ask someone to finish one of my, you know, guys, maybe I realized it too late, but like maybe I am kind of a Jump King freak. Maybe I just like Jump King a little too much, but it can't be helped, you know. And you know, freak recognizes freak. So I think that I can sense a little bit of a Jump King freak in Mizu. So I'm trying to, you know, really nurture that and like make sure that he also loves Jump King as much as I do. I just want a friend to play Jump King with so badly. So badly. I mean, you made me play it and finish it. It makes me so happy, John, that you've played Jump King, like, and actually beat it, because for me, that is like my one goal in life. Like, oh crap, I really need to work on my Nexile sponsorship sweater. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm gonna make myself a sweater, like right across the front. It's gonna say hashtag Nexile Senpai, please notice me. Oh, and then I said I would give myself a trucker hat that says Weenie Hut Jr. But I don't know how to put hats on Vroids, so we gotta figure that out later. Gotta get out a lurk to say you're just realizing now that you are a Jump King freak? I mean... Listen. Listen, I didn't No, that's a lie. I'm just saying, like, I never wanted to call myself a freak, but I guess now that I'm thinking about it, like, I guess you could apply that to me as a person, as someone who loves Jump King very much. So yeah, Wait, son, did I welcome you in? Welcome in, son. I hope you've been having a good evening. Time to embrace it. It's true. It's true. But do you guys have any fun plans today or this weekend? Because, oh my god, I have to tell you, I have been very, very crazily busy with recording stuff for VTSO. We are cooking stuff, you know. It has been such a blessing to be a part of this group. That dude looks like he would say Rick and Morty takes a high IQ to watch. Oh, Herlock? I've never watched Rick and Morty, so I have no idea what that show is about. I see. How very interesting. Oh no! Is it? Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here, and Thorndyke Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Center. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means, including the maleficent Mr. Mustache. Inferior means? I suppose Soseki-san does fit the bill. Is he called Herlock Sholmes? Help! Yes, Delry, his name is Herlock Sholmes. It's so great. It's because I think the team reached out to the family and or not family. Yeah, the family of the author and was like, "Can we use the name, you know, Sherlock Holmes?" And I think the family like refused them. So in the game, they just switched it over to like Herlock Sholmes, and everyone knows who he's supposed to be, but it's just funny. I have none. Probably gonna work on some personal projects since I feel better with my sickness. Whoa, didn't know we could say that word on Twitch. Which word? Watch? None of your words were very offensive. Amazing! Incredible! It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She's suddenly clammed up.
Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Oh dear me, do forgive me.
If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things.
Oh, yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. Meanwhile, Natsume Soseki's family. Sure, you can do whatever you want as long as you make it clear that he hated his time in Britain. Yes, that's what other people have said, yes. That his family was like, yes, you can use his name in the game as long as it is so very clear that his time in Britain was miserable and terrible. Ah, I see, I see. Is there a Mr. Narrow Fodder here? Mr. Narrow Fodder! Narrow Fodder now. Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but... Ah, Mr. Narrow Fodder, good, this is for you. It's a message from a Mr. Saucy Nutmeg. Soseki Natsume? Mr. Saucy Nutmeg? Oh my god, I'm so sorry, that is so funny. I can't relate, I'm a British person. Why is person in quotations? That's so chaotic. Mr. Natsume sent a message to me?
But why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume?
Exactly. What's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? Ugh! What are you waiting for? Let me see that! Oh. Well, this is most unexpected. Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen this note? No, how could I have? Saucy Nutmeg is one of my favorite bits. It is so funny. Saucy Nutmeg. Satsume no... Sorry, what? Shoseki Natsume. Saucy Nutmeg. When Ryunosuke become Runny Nose. Please stop. I'm gonna die. Oh my god, that's so good. No, how could I have? It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once. Murder! Call a cab. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient. Convenient? What do you mean? It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings. Wait, what?
I'll hail a fiacre at a what? What is this? Susato-san, I don't think I know what this means. A fiacre at once.
Bruh, ain't even you heard of Uber? Who gets a cab? You know, it is the 1920s at this point, I believe. It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, there's a murder at this man's own address? He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Uh-oh. Murder! What on earth?
Oh my, the gentleman is deceased. Without question, he's dead.
Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire!
Mr. Natsume.
Why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday. I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And then I wake up the next day to this. No early bird should catch a worm like this. Woeful worm without wiggle. Would you guys still love me if I was a worm? Just, you know, just a question. Would you still love me if I was a worm? I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ah, not the horrible Herlock Sholmes! Shoo! Shove off! Show yourself the door! I never invited you!
Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume.
I am entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? No. The dance of deduction in this part is one of my favorites too. You wouldn't love me if I was a worm? I feel so insulted right now. Here they are already. Wait, what kind of voice did I have for the inspector? I don't remember. The busybodies. Ah, Inspector Gregson, what a pleasant surprise. Of course I'd love you. I mean, I hope you'd maybe like be an earthworm and not a giant parasite worm, but new worm girl model confirmed. I've always liked earthworms. I do think earthworms are very like good for the environment, right? But I also hypocritically think worms are kind of gross. Whoopsie doopsie. I feel, was he carrying chips? I feel offended. He was. He carries like a newspaper thing, a newspaper cone of like fish and chips. It's really funny. Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Sholmes. I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Good morning, Inspector. It's a portal to the fish and chips dimension. Damn, I wish I had a portal to the fish and chip dimension. This is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything. Or, good morning to you too, sunshine. Consumer. Okay, should we just hold on? Let's click around to see what we can examine first. Let's all of this. Oi! I said hands off! You're gonna mess up my crime scene! Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance! I know you're kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. Ugh, someone's in a bad mood. Okay, I guess we can't look. There's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there? Alright, it sounds like I'd better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Oh, I see. Okay, talk to the inspector first. Gotcha. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. Oh, William Shakespeare. He was a lodger here. William Shakespeare? Excuse? His spine must hurt after laughing like that. As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss as it happens, or just dead. Mr. Shamspeare. Oh, was it Shamspeare? Oops, my bad. It was the landlord, old Mr. Garadeb, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Garadeb got worried and kicked the door down. But doesn't Mr. Garadeb have a bad leg? Ah, yes, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kickin'. Really? Soseki-san? The victim was pretty hard up, it seems, even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life and a miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious, but I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the cohabiter. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? Oh dear, Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again. It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he? Poor man. How unfortunate. Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fellow's been a goner that long. The body's still warm. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Okay, so are we supposed to examine? What are we supposed to do now? Oh, Natsume? Shamspeare! It said sham, not shake. Oh, I see. This game is so sassy. Dang, bro really said no bitches, no paper, no life. Why, that girl's so cute. Oh, Susato-san? She's adorable. She's really, really cute. What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences! So, the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room is just 1 story up, isn't it? Yes, that's right, in a way. We were neighbors, I suppose. So, did you know the victim? Were you friends? What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. But did he ever invite me to his room? Never! On my honor, I swear it! What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. Through that inspector over there. What is Sholmes doing? Excuse me, sir? Sir, please. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Ha! You need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. There's nothing natural about that pose. Gay lovers confirmed. I love the LGBT representation. Oh, you missed the LGBT representation. There was some last trial. It was pretty great. Very, very lovely. Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery? Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened. My goodness. But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes? Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I have managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow? No, don't mind me. Forget I was here. Susato, please marry me. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions? No, please! Pretend I'm not here! Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant! Impossible to ignore. You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail. X to doubt on this whole dude. This dude is so sus. But of course. Let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time? So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. The game is afoot! Music is so good for this. Cause of death. Conclusion. We don't have a conclusion yet. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. A foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. It sure will astound in one sense of the word anyway. I love this. Me when I'm disconsolate. Why is this soap set so purposefully upon the dish, like the victim's Last Supper? In fact, yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though personally I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. What? Poisoning from soap ingestion. Wasn't much, but let me guess. Main character got accused again. Herlock humoring it along. No. If you haven't watched, to catch you up very quickly, Ryunosuke came with Herlock Sholmes to the residence of one William Shamspeare, and Natsume Soseki is the one accused of, possibly accused of a crime. Last Supper? Christianity is canonical in the Chronicles. Look at the schmoves, says John. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Though forced open now at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the hereafter. Tyrant, hello, good morning, welcome in, hello, how are you? Thank you for the save check, we will save right now. If I got no bitches, no paper, no life, I'd kill myself too. Don't say that. There's so much life worth living for. I personally got no bitches. I got no paper. I got no life because, you know, I just stay home all the time. But I still find meaning in life by playing music and, you know, like hanging out with my anime friends online. Miso, thank you for the head pat. Also, important update. Someone called Natsume Soseki Saucy Nutmeg. Wait, Miso, are you in the... Hold on. I don't know that you're in the Discord, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do Saucy Nutmeg. Because it is hilarious, and I do not want to forget this. Saucy Nutmeg. And I'm gonna pin this. Where's the pin? Pin. Pin message. Pin it. Cool. If I recall, Natsume Soseki is the accused one. Might be remembering. Nope, that is correct. Natsume Soseki is the one that's accused. I think it was specifically Saucy Nutsmeg. I see. Let me edit this. Saucy Nutsmeg. That does sound like Natsume. Fan, hello, pin. Yes, we're pinning a funny message in the Discord. Is there a link for the Discord? Oh yeah, here. You are welcome to join. How are you, Fan? Welcome in. Everyone should definitely check out Fan. Fan's great. Thanks for the shout out. Of course, anytime. Saucy Nutmeg sounds like a sex move. It is definitely not. Actually, I don't know. Maybe there's something out there, but you know, not here. Sorry, hold on. I needed to drink water. I am suffering. Almost done with my 4th book for my Zenith weapon. You got this, Fan. It's so funny that you're trying to do your weapon because it's like so outdated at this point. You're really only doing it for looks, okay? Just so you know, Fan, you're only doing it for looks. Cause there's like a lot better weapons out there for the level that you're at. The drip is everything. You are already a true Final Fantasy XIV player because glamour is the end game. But welcome in, Fan. Hello, Torrent. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you guys doing? All right. The great deduction is over. Now it's time to question this. Drip check! Drip check! There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap? It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing. How extraordinary. In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past. You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut. And did it? As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilt the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did. There's something that troubles me as well, actually. Oh, what's that? It's Mr. Natsume. I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' voice. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touched a nerve somehow. Nonsense! Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. Now that William Dafoe drip check meme music is playing in my head, I have actual fucking brain rot. My favorite thing is when games let you set the appearance and the stats of your armor weapons separately. Yes, yeah, absolutely, 100%. That is definitely a thing I also love about video games. Herlock, I'm not gonna believe you. Also, it makes me do all the ARR content. I kind of enjoy that I am properly experiencing it. Oh, that's so nice. I love that that is motivating you, Fan. It's really good. I love this. He would definitely eat soap just for scientific reasons. Yes, my wife is so smart. Chippy, aloha, welcome in. How are you? Good evening. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. How are you, Chippy? Yes, Mr. Sholm's observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in at an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. Alright then, let's see what we can do. Yes, we must pick out the key words in Mr. Sholm's quite brilliant deductions, and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place. In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise for Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. Chippy chippy choppa choppa. Doing good. Started playing Valorant last week. I'm now at a point where I top frag matches. Whoa, Chippy, so pro! That is crazy. I don't know how to play shooty games, so I hope you're having fun, Chippy. Guess I can see soup. You mean soap? Soap. It's soap. S-O-A-P. Soap. Herlock Sholmes! Yam! Oh my gosh, welcome in, Yam! You guys should definitely check out Yam. Yam is one of the members of VTSO, if you don't know. VTSO is the VTuber Symphony Orchestra, and Yam is our violist, and very generously decided to donate her skills to also design the VTSO uniform. Things are cooking. Things are definitely cooking, and we are working very hard to make sure that this year's VTSO is even bigger and better than the release last year. The only violist. Yes, guys, don't forget, we are taking auditions for the VTuber Symphony Orchestra. Please send your auditions into Azure Sniper_AZ. He will be reviewing because he is the director and the organizer of VTuber Symphony Orchestra. So if you are a VTuber, even if you aren't a VTuber but you know how to play an instrument that maybe we really need, he might take you. So try out, please audition. I can promise that our group is so inspiring, so motivating, and everyone is like super chill. So guaranteed you will definitely have... Oh yes! Thank you, Yam. Please submit your audition to vtubersymphony@gmail.com. Please prepare a piece in the instrument that you are most confident in, or you can apply for multiple instruments. I believe Azure is taking everything. Vocalists, whether you are soprano, alto, tenor, bass, or woodwinds, brass, strings. What else is there? Percussion, harp, piano. We are looking for all of it. Okay, so please, please, please. I can yodel. Does that count? I get dangerously drunk and scream until my voice box gets damaged. Cello? Yes, we are taking cello, in fact. Bjork, welcome in. Do you play cello? Please. We only have one cellist right now, and we are looking to fill out our lower strings. So if you can play cello, and if you can play it well, and you would like to join VTuber Symphony Orchestra, please, we are begging you to audition. But anyways, you guys, check out Yam. Yam is an albino bat VTuber. Her design is super cute. She's also super yellow, which, as you guys know, is like my favorite color. And she has the most unique VTuber design that I've ever seen, and it's so adorable. She does a lot of video essays on YouTube. I believe that's her main content. However, she has been currently jailed. She's been jailed by YouTube because of not really crimes, but crimes in YouTube's eyes. So she's cooling down a little bit. Bat Yam? Yam is a bat. I can play triangle like a motherfucker. Lower strings is so lonely. Yeah, please fill out the viola section because Yam's out here by herself, dunking on herself as a violist. So please, they need more. But welcome in, Yam. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. How's your evening after you finished wrapping things up in VTSO? Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Why is the soap set so purposefully upon the dish like the victim's Last Supper? In fact, yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. Alright, what can I do here? I've already forgotten.
Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating—
No, wrong voice. Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something or about to eat something.
Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use a fork than to attempt it with chopsticks.
And of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate.
But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap.
Thanks, Rosca. Happy to turn my brain off to an Ace Attorney stream now. I love this game. Yes, welcome in. We would love your company here. Please have the most brain off experience ever, because I will be doing the thinking for you. 2 favorite colors, red and blue, because I can't decide between the two. Have to pick one, it depends on my mood. I love pink and yellow, both are my really favorite colors. I can't decide. Really, I can't split the two. A bat, I followed, and I will check out the VTSO as a listener, I mean. Yeah, no worries, Misohead. Please do, Yam, this very, very cute. I love her voice, by the way. She has, like, this really cute, like, I would describe it as almost like tiny voice, but it's like, it has a very charming quality to it. And I love, like, she has really insightful video essays on VTubers and VTubing as like an industry and the designs of VTubers and like how to prepare, what to do, what not to do. It's all super informational if you are, 1, looking to get into VTubing, or 2, just want to know more about some of your favorite VTubers. No thoughts, head empty, just Ace. Pink and yellow or orange go so nice together too. I know, right, Miso? Even your VTuber mentions resembles pink and yellow. Yes, that's why I'm the colors that I am. That's why my hair is pink, and this sweater, I couldn't make it yellow because it would have been too bright, so I did orange instead. Of course, yeah, anytime, anytime. Did he eat soup? I don't know. Fork. Let's look at the fork. I suppose you'd eat soap with a fork, would you?
I don't think it's a question of which implement you'd use. You shouldn't eat soap, full stop.
But then why? Why does the man have a fork in his hand?
Oh dear. I understand your frustration, Mr. Naruhodo, but please don't take it out on me. The point is, if we decide the man used this fork to eat the soap, we wouldn't be changing Mr. Shon's deduction. So we really ought to consider some other clues.
Do we look at the... Oh, look, other piece of soap. Look, there's more soap on the floor here. Mr. Shamspear must really have loved the stuff.
Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruhodo. Look closely at this soap. Do you see that it would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table?
What the... How can that be?
I think that they are 2 halves of the same bar that broke apart.
Okay, what else? The teacup? Oh, we just have to present the half bar, right? Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Did the victim really eat the soap? Okay, no, because of this. You are so close to being a Pikachu.
Pikachu!
Oh my gosh, hold on. When, I can't pause right now, hold on. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the other piece of soap reveals the answer. Sorry, real quick pause. I was part of an ASMR panel podcast last weekend, and one of the questions was to do like an impression. And I was like, I don't know how to do an impersonation of anyone, right? Like, I didn't get into like ASMR audio script reading to do impressions. I don't know how to do accents. I can't do an impression of any famous person. But I was like, oh, I can do like Pokemon sounds. So I can do like the original, you know, the 3 original starters and Pikachu. So there's
Char! Pika-Pee, Pikachu!
and then there's
Squirtle, 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 Squirtle! Bulba, Bulba, Bulbasaur!
so that's about all I can do when it comes to impersonations. Just bought book 5. Oh, congratulations, fan. I love how Ryunosuke is just like, yeah, a fork seems logical for eating soap with. Mr. Naruhodo is such a funny name. Then he didn't eat the soap. He must have drank the tea that had the poison. Aeon, welcome in. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. How are you? Adorable. So cute. I can see why you're in voice work. Oh, thanks, Yam. I do try my best. It's not anything super serious, but I do enjoy doing it, you know? Please search up Krite Toot sound and try it. I will do that after stream. Thank you. No, I'll write it down. Hold on. Where's my pen and pencil? Or pen and piece of paper. Krite, if this pen will work. Krite? Krike. Hold on. Kriketoon. Cricketoon? Is that a Pokemon? Cricketoon. Okay. I'll look it up later. And next time on stream, you can come and remind me and then be like, hey, did you look it up? Because I want you to do the sound. What is that? Is that the sound that it makes? I need to actually listen to it because I can't do it just like from reading it. Just trying to get over being sick. How are you? Oh no, you got sick? How? I'm so sorry about that. What did you get sick with? I hope it's not anything serious like COVID. Maybe it's just like a cold. God forbid, just maybe a flu even. But I hope it's not too bad. Yes, no idea. I think it's just a cold. Fee 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 whoop. Just an annoying cough now. Gotcha. Okay, that's good. Well, drink lots of water. Make sure you have lots of warm tea. I personally like hot ginger tea. Like I'll steep some ginger in hot water and honey. And that feels good for my throat. And lots of soup. You gotta drag that whoop out. Whoop. Whoop. Did I do it right? I'm gonna look it up later. I'm gonna see how close I got. I'm gonna tag this moment on stream. You'll see what we mean. Exactly. You got it? Okay, I've never heard this Pokemon in my life. I have to go look it up later because if I got it exactly, that would be so funny. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating the soap at all. But it's obvious, really, for no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. It's a classical music cricket? Oh my god, that's perfect. I need to look it up. Can I drop a link for it, or is that a party foul? I think you can drop links. Let me just make sure that I can permit you. Go ahead and drop the link. It should be okay. And then I will save the tab for after stream. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. 1 second here. Sorry, it just started going. I'll get it later. I'll get it. I'll watch it. Don't worry. I'll watch it. For London's foul soap is besmirched with foul poison. Thank you for the link, Untitled Viewer. Being able to do those cute noises is a serious skill. I always wonder how voice actors do it. I feel like, for me, making little like animal noises is fine. Like, maybe I don't feel embarrassed about it. I think most of doing an accent is really my wall of being too embarrassed and doing it wrong. And so I like have this mental wall about doing an accent. But when it comes to like making animal sounds, like especially Pokemon noises, it's for me, it's like, oh, whatever, like that's fun, it's cute, you know. But the way I do it, how do I do it? How do I for Pikachu specifically, inside my mouth, I kind of make it like very, like I raise, I don't even know how to describe it because I don't have the vocabulary, right? Like I do something with my mouth that makes my tongue kind of push up against the top of my roof of my mouth, and I kind of like squeeze my throat a little bit. I don't not physically, but like I kind of like something happens in my throat where it kind of squeezes so that it makes like a more high-pitched sound, because obviously I don't sound that high, right? But
If I do this with my voice, I can make it sound a little bit higher and I can talk like a little chipmunk, you know?
it's just things that you kind of like you just like play around with your voice until it sounds different. And then one time my friend was on Discord call with me and he was like, to sound like, you know, lower, like all you have to do is like, I guess he says you have to drop your palate. I don't quite know how to do it, but when I try to make myself sound deeper, like I just open my jaw a little bit wider and I open my mouth so that I can talk like kind of I imagine what a himbo would sound like, and I kind of do that. Victory Bell from the anime is the only Pokemon sound I can do. It's just regular, high-pitched screaming. I detected. Opinion rejected. About the accents, I mean, since Pokemon are not going to be offended. Oh yes, for sure, for sure. If you ever get sick and lose your voice, have a sore throat, you can still talk if you put up a fake deep voice. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument then. Perhaps he's suggesting the man lick the soap rather than ate it. If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it? There was also this teacup. Is that the kind of what you do for Monokuma and Hiyoko? Yeah, so when I do Monokuma and Hiyoko, like I push it even further. Like the top, my tongue, at the back of my tongue, I'm like pushing it up against the back of my throat. So like, and then I try to push my air through my nose so it sounds more nasally. Cause
Hiyoko kind of sounds like this, and like she sounds like a big brat, right? And like a lot of the air is like going through my nose, so it makes me sound like more high pitched and like I almost sound like a nerd, you know?
Which I love. Also Ringo from Great Ace Attorney 1, which is the first time I heard you do it. That's so interesting. Yeah, like the way you move your like appendages in your mouth, like, cause there's your tongue, right? But there's also like things in your nose, like the back of your nose and also your throat. Like I never took any formal lessons for this, so I'm not like the best person to ask because I don't know what the vocabulary is. I just kind of like learned how to do funny voices, and it's not even like super serious funny voices, you know? It's just different enough that like it suffices for a different character. I have never done any professional voice acting, so please don't take this as professional advice. But I mean, obviously all three of those voices are different, but there's something similar too. Yeah, I can't transform my voice super different. I know there are a lot of people who do voice acting who can do that. I cannot do that. I can only sound like myself, just slightly different. I hope I wasn't lumping all those voices together. No. They definitely sound different. Like, my Ouchie voice is different from my Hiyoko voice, is different from my Monokuma voice. But it's like, I think very subtle. And also like when I speak in a character's voice, I like to imagine the image of them in my head. And I'm like, how would this character sound? And that's like, I'm constantly imagining how they would say words. Cause like when I speak in Monokuma, right? Like
I speak with an accent and I don't pronounce all my P's and T's and F's and, you know, like I kind of smooth the sound of those words.
But I don't do it with Hiyoko. So, you know, you just have to like think about like how would a character like that talk? Ooh, that's right. Yes, a Western vessel for the serving of infusions of dried tea leaves. It's a teacup, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know. Stop putting on airs. And it's empty. Ah, so we've already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there is significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea. My thoughts exactly. Alright, present. That makes so much sense. I think that's why they feel so spot on. The fact that you pictured them. I mean, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Miso. I do try really hard. Even though it's just for funsies, I do try really hard. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. Solved. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. The Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deduction so far. Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamsphere was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems. We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues. That was my guess. The tea was spit with poison. I tend to misread a bunch whenever I read aloud. No clue why. You know, fan, I do that too. You think I care? I just go for it. Just go for it. You get better, you know? The more and more you do it, the better you get. Even when you can't, though you can't completely transform your voice, whatever you're doing still makes them distinct and in character. And I bet the imagery helps a lot. Western vessel for infused drinks. Autumn, hello, welcome in. How are you? Welcome, welcome. What shows somebody else was present? Oh, what the fuck? He had a thing in his hand. Other teacup. It's another Western vessel for It's a teacup! And it too is empty. Given that he is actually holding this one in his hand, we can assume that this is the cup from which Mr. Shamsphere was actually drinking. Oh wait, wrong voice. But if that's the case, this changes everything. Everything we've deduced up to now is turned on its head. I have a bad feeling about this. I almost don't want to say it. Yes, I know exactly how you feel. That rigor mortis sure set in fast. True. Autumn, how are you? Welcome in. Have you been preparing? Have you been practicing? Because I know you've been getting ready for a thing. Did the man dine and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's Last Supper, there was a guest present. At the very least, we can say now that with certainty. That somebody else was here in the room last night taking tea with the victim. What are you talking about? Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about the possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Do you mean to say you know exactly who was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Indeed! What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap. But the identity of the guest who was here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about.
Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. Oh, here. Oh, what can we look at? Pile of books. At first glance, it seems like the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially.
I wonder what they are. Let's see, the titles read The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury Yearnings, and A Meal for Gaboriau.
You know Susato definitely had trouble saying that. I misspeak my own thoughts every time. I'm just builded different. Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before.
It could just be an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day.
What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. Soseki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right.
And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim.
Yet, Mr. Natsume claims never to have been here before. What does this mean, do you think?
I really don't know what to make of it.
Pile of familiar books, I see.
It's empty.
Empty of liquid, but full of air. That makes you think, doesn't it?
It makes me think that you're full of hot air. We should be thinking about who else was in the room at the time.
Bother. Susato-san's quip in response was cleverer than my original riddle.
Oh dear, the latch is most definitely broken, isn't it? The door was kicked in by Mr. Natsume, according to what Mr. Garadeb told the inspector.
Who knew his short, thin little legs had so much strength in them?
I'm not sure the length of his legs is in any way significant here.
Perhaps this says more about the poor state of the door than about Mr. Natsume's strength, actually.
Careful, if he overheard that remark, he'd almost certainly have a lively response.
I don't know. Can this broken lock really tell us anything about who was here? Okay, so it's definitely has to be this pile of books. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Quite so, it's no mere coincidence that these three titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand bookshop. That's just coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment. No, never, non-negotiable. If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are, in fact, yours. Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could have only brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. Oh my god. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. In short, there is only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in his room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor was you, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholm's great deduction. Soseki Natsume at the scene. Oh no, he's gonna get arrested again. Commitment to the voice work is why I'm here. I love your voices. Oh yeah, thank you. We love doing them here. We love voices here. Even when I have guests on, at first it was a little bit strange because I had invited a friend who didn't really want to like do voices because I think she was like, oh, I'm not going to do it. And it was a game of Danganronpa 2, which I'm still going through. It's like every Tuesday. But as we started playing the game and like everyone was doing voices because it's me and another streamer friend, Tiny. And he has like a lot of like voices that he can do. And my friend Ever, she tries for the stream because she's on stream like sometimes when she guests here. So Ellie, I think, just kind of maybe felt pressured to also do voices. And now she's like really into it. So everyone does voices here. Ace Attorney is a great game to voice. I wish I could bring some friends on because doing all these voices is really hard. I have done a full voice through of The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, a Sonic visual novel, and I kept forgetting my voices for the characters. Yam! Oh my god, I forget my voices for the characters all the time. Literally, we come back to stream after a couple days of not playing, and I'm like, what voice did I give this character again? I don't remember, and so I'll just make something up. It's okay, it's fine. Not again, not again, not again. Not again! Well then, Mr. Natsume. It would appear you're gonna have to accompany me down to the yard. Again. Wait! Hold your horses! Yes? Door, key, locked, entry, exit, entirely impossible! That makes me feel better. Yeah, 100%. 100%. He's so flustered. He's being even stranger than normal. What, you think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. What? You live in the same building after all. You'd have had plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. Misery me! Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache. Oh, you horrible Herlock Sholmes! He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but... You have to help me, please! Please! I'm innocent! Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. And one more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat! Please give him his breakfast for me! I wouldn't have guessed that she didn't want to do voices. If that was mentioned, I totally forgot because her voices are great. Everyone's DR2 voices are so fun, right, Miso? I think it was more like, it wasn't that she didn't want to, but I think she was a little bit self-conscious about it at first. And I think because the three of us, me, Ever, and Tiny, were really like ham on the voices, she was like, you know what, maybe I can do it too. She really like kind of fell into it. And I intentionally skipped those streams because I want to play the game myself. Sorry, John. It's okay. You can skip them. We'll just see you later. And so, his evil curse apparently still unbroken. Soseki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. I mean, come on. Ryunosuke, you helped him. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. I still lurk to get those sweet treats. Oh, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now. Yes, that's right. Ah, and of course. What? Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garadeb, who discovered Mr. Shamspear. Ah, Mr. John Garadeb, yes. I expect we could find him in his sitting room on the top floor as usual. Right, we must remember to go and talk to him later then. Let us examine everything now that we can. This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it? Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances? Shakespeare! Not Shamspear. Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office. What? Then you could practice your art every single day. I'll think about it, if you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge. Well, if that would help you achieve your goal. This I have to see. My hello bye is me opening the tab, scrolling down the window, and muting the tab. I appreciate you so much, John. Thank you. Oh, sorry, hold on. I was coughing and then I clicked the wrong thing. Okay. Sorry about that. And here we have another disproportionately large machine. It looks like a meter of some kind. Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins. I see. Yes, now that you've pointed it out, I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here? That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating. So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold? Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank. Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. Did they really used to live like that? Metered gas? This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall. Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas. But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they? I feel like your view count has risen substantially. I remember 5 to 15 in the FF10 days. Oh, thank you, Bjork. I feel like we've gained a few people. We've lost a few people. It kind of like... Poor Aeons. I know. The FF10 stream was like a crazy stream. We've gained a few people and lost a few people over the years, but I like to think that, you know, we are a very tight-knit community. And, you know, I'm comfortable with what I have. I'm not picky. You've gained me. Thanks, Sam. I'm not picky, and I appreciate each and every one who decides to come by. So whether I have 5 people in chat or, you know, 30 people in chat, I will treat everyone the exact same way. I think they still have those meters in Britain, or at least had them until very recent. No way, really? I want to see. Oh, I gotta go look that up. That's interesting. Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there. Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier. Okay, he hung... Oh, window. Also bricked up. As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax that Britons had to pay. What strange things they used to tax in Great Britain. I mean, maybe making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property. It's extraordinary. It's so that people couldn't avoid taxes, I guess.
It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax.
Oh! What is it, Miss Susato?
If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose.
Oh, interesting. More soaps. Oh yes, it looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspear who did it, I wonder, being the lodger renting this room?
Ah, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it.
What? Outside? Okay, examine it again.
It's so cold outside. You can feel it through this gap.
It did snow all last night. It would be cold. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps?
It's more bars of soap.
Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window?
I have no idea, but the pair of them look rather charming like that.
Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window? I think perhaps we should take one. There are two, after all.
Oh dear, I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at this soap.
Huh.
Do you see in the middle there? There's a patch that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but...
Some sort of fancy design, I suppose, only in Great Britain.
It looks like the Hinomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful! It's probably a very expensive brand.
Expensive? Then what's it doing in this ramshackle old room? Bar of soap has been entered into the court record. Oh, great. Fantastic. Look at these extravagant bright costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room with its grim, shady goings-on.
This one looks like a king's attire.
A king? I've always dreamt of being a king. What?
Oh, I think you'd be more suited to a feudal lord, or a daimyo, or such like.
With a chonmage top knot? Every Japanese man wishes he had a chonmage.
Oh, you'd look wonderful with one. And you already have the sword.
Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chonmage and a sword? Oh my goodness. What's over here?
There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked.
Yes, not much use, are they? What's the matter?
Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all.
Prosecutor Lord Van Zeeks?
Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses, I was thinking it's a waste that he should donate some to the needy.
You can suggest it next time we meet. Okay. Is this the soap? Oh no.
What's this?
It looks like part of an envelope, I think.
Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened.
Is that significant?
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps. When you look around the room, there's no sign of a letter, or the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there?
Ah, she's right.
And yet here we have the torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual.
I agree. We'd better take this, just in case. Ah, to the body. And what can we find out about this body?
Oh, the poor man, so young to die. Do you suppose it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was?
I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul?
Sorry?
I made sure I had a reference at the ready for just such an occasion as this, actually. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. I'll just reread it now, one moment.
There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Convenient.
One of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guest drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside.
I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty.
That's true. So, one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from.
But Soseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. Okay. And we are finished. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Who's talking? Oh, Inspector. Inspector Gregson, back so soon. After I threw that little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, we'd better be leaving then.
Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in his cell again so soon.
Oh my god, he's moving! Sorry. I'm sure we should probably go and... Sorry, it scared me. Oh my god, that scared me. Hold on. As you can see, I can't do well with things moving when they're not supposed to.
What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Out! Out, brief candle! Life's but a walking shadow, poor player. That struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Now, how soundeth the next part? It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed, oh happy day! Oh god, is he really dead? Wait, what? What is happening right now? Wait, what? Walking Dead? I'm confused. He's still alive, so it's supposed to. I've heard they did a ton of motion capture for this guy specifically. He has so many animations. Okay, what the fuck is going on? I have no idea. The fella isn't dead at all? What was that nonsense he was saying, though?
I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
Shakespeare. So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shamspear, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime, whatever that now was. Oh my god, you know what it is? I think he passed out from carbon monoxide poisoning. I bet you that's what it was. Okay, this is something that you have to be so careful about in the wintertime, especially when you use gas to heat your house. I bet you, I'm calling it right now, he passed out from carbon monoxide poisoning. And because they've been opening the door and like breezing out the windows, that like he got a whiff of fresh air and he like slowly woke up. How tiny is the font in that book of all knowledge ever? All right, you guys, it is 8:30 and I do need to like make some dinner before I go raid in Final Fantasy XIV. So I am gonna sign off now, but let me find a nice place to drop you guys off so that someone can take care of you puppies while I'm gone. Let's see, who do we have? We have, let's see. Super secret Jump King stream! Secret training session! We're gonna raid into Mizu because he is training some Jump King right now. And we are about, as you can see, okay, don't forget, we have a Jump King race, January 27th, 8 p.m. Pacific time, okay? We are gonna go, we're gonna raid him, and we're gonna be like, wait, what should I do to like, to taunt him? But like playfully, right? We're not gonna do something mean. How's training? Oh, I'm just gonna do training montage. I think that's nice enough. Okay, so if you are a subscriber, feel free, you can copy any of these raid messages because it will work for you. But if you are not subscribed, you will need to copy that second raid message because you won't be able to use the channel emotes. I know a lot of you guys are subscribed because we have a lot of generous members here in chat who have gifted a lot of subscriptions to viewers here. Anyways, we are going to go visit Mizu, Mizumi Morgan. He is a 3D VTuber just like me, and what does he call himself? The Lad of the Lake. And he is really cool. I love hanging out with him. He's just as chatty as I am. And he is training for our Jump King match. So let's go say hi. Let's go support a friend. And let's watch him fall lots. Okay. As always, please be happy. Please be healthy. But most of all, please be kind. Be kind to others because you never know what a smile, hug, or hello can do for someone who is having a bad day. And be kind to yourselves. Make sure you're getting up, stretching your legs, hydrating every so often. Because if you don't, you might get an embolism. And then you might die. And then, you know, that would be just so sad. And I would cry. So I'll see you guys all later. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Have a good night, my puppies. I love you. Bye.